Riding on cars!
Word up, y'all. Mask Blast 09 here. Welcome to the Plumes with Hazards. Tonight, to my right, to my left, we got the Angstful Vapor.
What's up? And over, at least to me, to my left or right, is the Foobacas.
What up? To my whatever the fuck, it's understudy.
What up, guys? How you guys doing tonight?
He's above you. He's above all of us. You should know.
I'm way the fuck up there, man. You should know that by now.
I mean, what is wrong with my camera? It looks...
All right, I'll write that down.
I hope everybody is having a great evening. I know I for one always really look forward to these Hostful episodes. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. A little more laid back. Can talk about more stuff without worried about coordinating junk. Although now we still have to coordinate other things, but less people is always good.
Absolutely.
Is it less people or fewer people? I think it's less people, right?
No, fewer people. I was wrong.
Is it
What do you
fewer
mean,
people?
you people?
People's a collective singular.
Collective. Ooh, that's true.
So I think it is less people. It'll be like fewer douchebags.
So have you guys heard of the Chuff guy? What the hell's his name? Chuffaloof?
Shufflingus?
Snuffleupagus. That's it.
Shufflingus.
Chuff something. Well, supposedly he made man, do I look potato or what? What's going on?
He made these.
You're fine, man. You're fine.
I see like lines. Oh, I know why. Here we go. There we go.
Don't break the internet. Don't break the internet.
Don't do it.
Pour some sweet tea on me. Well, anyways, I heard he created this top cap that looked like a big old black something or other, and he was creating
like this.
No, it was longer than that. I heard he likes long things up to his mouth. So
this is Chode Life right here.
I actually I'm a fan of the clone. I found a Alibaba link for one of the clones, and it's not. They didn't have the black one in stock. Those were taking a little longer to make. So I got my new clone Chuff tip. There it is. It's hashtag not a Chuff.
Let's not forget about the Voop Lyfe on that either.
Yeah.
Voop Lyfe logo. I mean, this thing is...
What was the MOQ on that mask?
This thing is awesome. I mean, you can run this sumbitch at, just amazing. It fits on, your regular Tobes, any of that.
Look, it's got a mani tilt to it too, doesn't it?
It's got
a
mani tilt.
It does. This is an ode to the tilt, and you know why? Like a sir. See?
Yeah.
Like a sir.
Mm. The chat just said, Project just said, it's called the Bigglesworth.
No, this ain't called no Bigglesworth. This is called the Ass Blaster right here. Hope you're jealous, bitch.
So, I mean, that thing's got great features, right? Like, zero flavor.
No, actually, the flavor, it's got a little bit of flavor. About that much. You got to drip from the high horse area.
Perfect for me, then.
To go down.
Absolutely.
So it actually cools the juice on the way down. This recycles. Because we're all about recycling and keeping the world a better place and not using as much juice, right? So as the juice comes up, it's got these coils inside of it that cool the vapor down. okay, and then recondense it down into your juice again, because all the flavor stops like right around here.
Does it have the Venturi effect?
Yes.
Basically, you got some Cold War missile silos on surplus, and decided to put one on
This
your attic.
also doubles up 4th of July parties. Roman candle.
Oh.
Yeah, you light the bottom and you could shoot your fucking bottle rockets and shit out of the
It's
top.
a clone, but it has features that the Bigglesworth does not have.
Right, correct. Yeah, because, why would you want to be like the Bigglesworth? I mean, no. So, not a chuff. Check it out. It'll be Alibaba coming out soon. Voop Lyfe. So.
Voop Lyfe.
Man, it's great. It just performs awesome. Wait, where's my do not try this at home freaking sign? I gotta write it up.
What do you got going on, Foob?
I got a smartphone, yo.
What? No.
I did. And I also got an Instagram, yo. Like, Foobaca is my Instagram. I'll put that in chat because I need to shamelessly plug my Instagram that has interesting photos and stuff.
On
What
the
phone did you
Instagram
have?
note,
What phone did you have before?
I had the LG Expression, the slide one. I don't have it down here. It's upstairs, but
I kind of pegged you as an old school Nokia brick, kind of guy. Like the ones that you could, if you needed to hook up to a bomb, make sure it works.
no.
No.
So, on the Instagram note, I had always been using Understudy 77 to promote the show. We just recently switched, so our new Instagram is @Plumes of Hazard. So all future show promotion, and because I'm far too lazy to probably ever log into the Understudy 77 account again, will be from the Plumes of Hazard account.
Oh, but that's just not my news isn't in there. I actually have some shit to talk about. My chuff top I still have, so if you haven't gotten one, get one or get the clone that Mast was pushing. Up to you. But a notice: be prepared to wrap lower. If you put it on a still air. I haven't tried it. I haven't tried the Tove one. I don't think. Maybe I think I tried the Tove one, but yeah, shit works nice, man. Now the thing is I can't wrap anything else on this because I have like a .13 dual parallel and everything's nice. I got Perdition from Axiom 100 ml bottle. I got sent it like a month or two ago and I loved it, so I finally got around to ordering some. And it's a good juice. It's only 10% PG. It's part of like their high VG line. And if anyone's had like the Cloud Rest before, that shit is viscous.
Mm-hmm.
Viscous. Nice.
I ordered Terrific from the Vapers Knoll, also a 100 ml bottle, but it should have been here today. It wasn't, so you'll hear about it. Apparently there's a surprise in it for me, so you know.
I cannot
I had a
wait until
surprise
you
in
get
mind.
that bottle, dude.
I had a surprise in mind. From what I hear, since we had the Vape Kitchen on a couple weeks back, they do the real extraction off of shit. So I think Rich at the Vapers Knoll actually extracted the classified Terrific from churros, because I think there was a piece of churro in mine that I was able to and eat it, and it actually, I'm telling you, that shit was good. I don't know how he does it, but good
I
shit
also
there,
got
so.
a bottle of Terrific Sans Churro.
Yeah.
And I suppose, since we have some people watching tonight, it's kind of so. If you look at the label on this thing, it says classified. So what the Knoll's doing is once a month they're going to come out with a flavor that you either have to be on their email list for, or you have to hear about it from somebody else. And you can buy it on the website, but you have to know the name of it. So, if you guys are interested, the flavor is the one that me and Mast used to reminisce about.
You just leave it there, and then it just auto drips.
But if you happen to go over to the Knoll, order yourself a nice big bottle of Terrific.
That's good stuff.
Their classified flavor that you can only get if you know the name of it. So remember that name.
Remember the name.
More juice.
More juice.
Yeah, but it's like $25 or something now for 100 mil from them.
$28, I think I paid.
Is it? And that's fucking nothing for 100 mil.
First class shipping from the Vapers Knoll is free, so just order $28 for 100 mils and.
Massey, they want you to take a nose rip with that thing.
If
Oh,
you
they want
decide to order,
They want to see a nose rip, Mast.
All right, here we go.
And if you do decide to order a 100 ml bottle on a whim and you don't like it,
y'all lucky because I got them big nostrils that fit that chuff tip. Here we go. Here we go. Out the other nostril, and then we'll do
the face.
Oh, that came out of my ass. Y'all can't see the vapor, but we'll clean this up before.
Well done. Well done.
Finish your thought, Foob.
This is great. I think, you know what? I'm going to make a couple of these. Fuck you, Chuff. We're going to make not a Chuff.
Make it a thing?
Mm-hmm.
I think you should.
Sorry, I didn't mean to, interrupt there.
Bastard. So, yeah, as I was saying before Mass had to go take a nose rip, if you order a 100 ml bottle...
You got to give the people what they want.
And they don't like... Shut the fuck up. And you don't like
I'm going to mute myself right now.
Just cut it off at the pass.
I'll do one better. If you don't like it, you can share it with your homies. I mean, I'm probably going to do that anyway with my bottle. So, yeah. Get a big bottle, share it, vape it.
Nice.
And I got Vaporator's juice, but I haven't had time to try it, damn it.
I think all of us have, so we can all talk about it.
Man, I overnighted you that shit, and you haven't tried it yet?
He's in like the Dominican Republic or some shit this week anyway.
I went to the Dominican Republic, asked them to make your damn juice, overnighted it to you, and you said...
You did not go to no Dominican Republic.
I'm not going to do that right now. I did go. Mosquitoes are huge over there.
Mosquitoes are huge anywhere outside the U.S.
I feel bad. Ahmed never talks, and now he's actually got shit to talk about, and we're all interrupting him. I'm so sorry.
No, everybody aside from Sean.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
All us white people look the same, man, didn't you know?
Yeah, I know. That's what I heard.
White you Ben Affleck. Hashtag white people.
There you go. What else you got, Ahmed?
Oh yeah, BTC 5s. I got some a couple weeks ago. I've never used them for an extended period of time because since I got my first mech, I've been using Samsung INR 20Rs day in and day out on my mech. And I still like the Samsungs better. Discharge charts, I guess, will prove that otherwise. We'll get more into batteries later, but in short, I like them better than the Sony.
He's still interrupting you. He's just not talking.
I know. You can go angsty. I'm done.
All right.
And Ahmed never talk during the news again.
So there. So I have been, as y'all know, I haven't been in my home here for a couple of weeks. I've been on my epic road journey. But as I mentioned last week, one of the things that I picked up on my epic road journey was this super fun little mast mods. What do we call it? A nano? I forget now.
Micro.
That's what it was. This thing. So this powered my my road tripping, and it's still awesome. The engraving makes it extra special.
Yeah, that was a pretty much. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'll just throw the lid on there and see what happens. So I was happy with that.
So
I will say I was scared at first.
Brian.
I was scared at first because I did it and it was like it's not working.
Since me and Brian have this terrible habit of one gets one, the other gets something.
No.
I might as well say he goes and gets a small mod, and I go and buy a Vapor Shark.
Aww.
With the Papa Smurf jacket.
With the Papa Smurf jacket. Courtesy of Tiny Meow in chat, actually. She dropped this off to me today.
Nice.
Thank you. But I said if I could get a good deal on a Vapor Shark, I'd buy one, and I got this one used for $100, so, why not?
Absolutely, and I've always said that little Vapor Sharks, I mean, it's adorable. It's nice and tiny. The only reason I like this better is because it was made by a friend of mine, and it's smaller.
Not by a big corporation.
I think you can. I think you can call her the queen of Vapor Shark. She's got a few of them, doesn't she?
I think so. Well, she just got rid of one of hers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, speaking of Vapor Shark, I got an email. As most of you know, they were the first company that I tried a juice from, over a year and a half ago. I got an email from them today, and I'm really surprised at how they're expanding, um, their juice line. Having juice from other people's, and I just saw that they had that wireless charger board for the
Yeah.
DNA. And they had some Japanese cotton and stuff like that. So it's really interesting to see. I think they've done I mean, personally, I think they've done a 180 in the whole PR department, and gotten somebody in there who knows at least what some of the community wants, and getting it in there. So.
Mhm.
Now, are they still, priced a little bit higher? Of course. So is there stuff labeled with Vapor Shark shit? Of course, but you can't fault them for trying.
Right. Well, and the one thing I'll say positive about it is throughout this whole, like the last 6 or 9 months or something, they have continuously been the one that has got a DNA device available. You don't have to get on a list. You show up, or you just pull up their page or whatever and order one. And I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And even if you do miss out on them, they're coming out with them often enough. Like, for instance, we sold out of them at the shop, and our next order, like we're maybe going a week and a half between keeping Vapor Sharks in stock, which, if anyone knows in the vape industry, is not that long a wait.
Yeah.
I have to say,
they got their shit together.
it's heavy for as small as it is.
Yeah.
It's heavier than the A-mods. Like, it's not badly built. It works well. The battery dies a little quick, but I bought this for, like, going to the movies.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Go to the movies.
And
your asshole.
Wait, you're vaping in the movies?
No, like, because I'm not vaping very much when I go out, so it's perfect.
I see.
And they're coming out. They're coming out with that new RNA. I mean, it's out, and that thing is, again, they're listed. At least, that's one thing that I'll say also about, for example, Yihi. At least, they're listening to feedback. A lot of companies could give two shits about what you think about their products. So at least, you're getting some kind of feedback with, being able to do an 18650 and all that other stuff. So pretty cool.
Yeah. Right. Well, if you guys are done talking over my news segment, then we'll continue on.
I have plenty to say about your next subject, too.
Yeah, exactly. So I also, on my trip down there, I did, and I mentioned this last week, I did get some samples of Vaporator's juice. It is, as we expected from somebody like Vaporator, fantastic. One of the things I was really pleased at, so in my opinion, it takes something really special to have a high VG juice that's primarily for dripping that works well in a tank device. The first one that I did, since I was on the road and not able to do, I loaded up a K-Fun with Lushington, which is like a peaches and cream sort of thing, and it is very good out of a dripper. You definitely get some additional notes and some complexity, but in a K-Fun, it's just fantastic. It's very lightly peachy, tastes more like a peach, not like peach candy to me. It's really, really good, and so on my...
The most accurate peaches and cream juice I have tried to date.
Yeah. To me, and you can tell me if your experience is any different. To me, in the K-Fun, it tastes a little bit more like maybe canned peaches, not quite as like juicy as it does out of the dripper.
It's like peaches with a little bit of sugar.
Yeah. With
whipped cream on top.
Right. It's fantastic.
Out of a dripper though, it's straight like fresh juicy peach.
Fresh juicy
with
peach.
Whipped cream.
Not artificial at all, which is really cool. So Dark Star is one that he calls was it a bready custard or something that he called it? Custard. To me, and I talked to him about this. To me, it's got a lot of chocolate notes. It tastes like a chocolate custard, and it's really, really good. But
it tastes like chocolate or coconut s'mores custard to me.
Yeah. But as you mentioned before, I actually put this in the rose and gave it some spurs, and man, it's really, really good in the rose.
I have that in the rose as well, and if it was just a custard, I don't think I'd like it as much as I like it's very chocolate s'mores custard. It's very different. It's very interesting.
Oh yeah, and I when I talked to him about it, he said there's no chocolate in there. It just freaking tastes like chocolate to me. It's amazing. It's really, really good. So just a minute ago, I just put Forever Young. This is the first time because he told me to let this sit for a while. I just put this in the dripper and took one hit. It's Wow, is that good? That one doesn't taste. All right, so some of the other cereal-y kind of vapes that I've had taste really like ethyl maltol-y. This one does not, to me.
Because I don't think he uses that anyway.
Man, it just tastes like milky cereal-y goodness. Wow.
Mine's still sitting. It's not ready yet.
Yeah, no, that is really, really good. Yeah, that's true. I got mine another week before yours, I think.
People in the chat, we're back to the Rose. Roll out the Rose Patrol.
Yeah, Rose Patrol. Sorry, the Rose is a fantastic device, and I'm still a fan of it.
Falcon Dick Punch said is the Rose all it's cracked up to be, and the Rose is a really, really good device. And by saying the Rose is a really, really good device, it works phenomenally, and I can't wait for my Stumpy kit, Andy.
Oh yes, I know I have a couple mods that the Rose is straight up too short, straight up or it's too long for it. I need the Stumpy kit. Need the Stumpy kit because it looks amazing on it. All these people posting their pictures from their vape blast over there, making me very jealous. So let's see what else we got. What else we got? Oh, eFest. So eFest is continuing to.
So hang on. That was. I just timed it. That was about 5 minutes of.
That's
all.
Hostful. That's allowed. Fuck you.
Enough about the damn Rose.
Somebody asked a question.
As they did.
All you had to say was yes.
I'm not
great
sure.
Device. Buy one.
I agree. All you got to say is yes.
I'm not sure. It doesn't look familiar to me.
Durosig says the Squape R owns it. And if that's the case, Duro, send me one, and I will confirm or deny that after I finish reviewing it.
Yeah, man. I haven't tried the Squape R.
Still playing fast and loose with their batteries and what they say their amp limits are. We had a guy post a bit of an article. They did some testing on a 20 amp purple eFest, and apparently instead of being 20 amp, it comes out at 4. 4.
The thing is, though, that's the thing is, though, I know some like super sub owners at work, they're not like super duper sub owners, but who are running 0.2s and 0.15s on those batteries, and nothing bad's happened yet. So are they just rolling the dice?
Rolling the dice, because I think the point is they're rewrappers, right? And there's nothing wrong with that per se, as long as you do enough tests to them. For example, AW, right? AWs make very, very high quality 350 and 490 batteries, amongst the highest amp ratings out there. But they test the crap out of those things before they release them. They're not just straight rewraps. So apparently the eFests are not necessarily always the same battery that you're getting rewrapped. So you could be just fine running them, and then you could be just pushing it, because okay, so to your point, we always recommend using the continuous amp rating on a battery, right? Because it's the safest way to go about it. If you use the pulse and you're only doing short bursts of it, fine, you probably will be okay. That's just not what we recommend. Yeah. So we're getting some confirmations on this from other places. So that's all we got on that. Just be careful if you're using eFest. They're probably going to be fine, but in my opinion, you should be looking for somewhere else. In my opinion, 490 size and 350 size use AWIMRs, and the 650 size, you got a lot more options over there. You can do if you want more milliamp hours and less, you need less amps, you could run with the Orbtronics or the what are the Panasonics that they're rewraps of, or you can get the Sony VTC5s, or you can get Ahmed's favorite, which are the what?
Samsung INRs, the 20Rs, the 25Rs came out recently. Those are the new ones. Those are the 2,500 milliamp hour ones, as opposed to mine, which are 2,000. I'm going to be ordering myself a pair of those this week, actually, and playing around with those, and I'll probably love them too. They're like they're like the same color as Sean's Vapor Shark skin.
So there's that. The other thing I was going to mention, something we mentioned last week, we did find a T-shirt guy who's going to be doing our Voop Lyfe T-shirts, as well as the Plumes T-shirts that you guys have been asking for. We're also going to have him do the Ohm page. His site is now up and live. It's linked from the ohmpage.com, and you can go check them out. They are very reasonably priced. They're about $17 if you're in the U.S. shipped.
If you're a big guy, they're $18.50.
Right, a little bit more for if you need like double X plus kind of thing. We're working on getting tall sizes because I want those for myself. But Blue Dozen Designs is the one who's doing that for us. He's a super cool guy. He's also going to be looking into getting us some vinyl stickers and that kind of thing. It'll be available for you.
The descriptions on the shirts because they're phenomenal.
Absolutely, he did a great job on that.
The guy from Blue Dozens wrote them, and they're fucking.
Is there a link you can post in chat for these shirts?
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
TheOwnPage.com. Click on Shop, or I can give you the direct link here. Now, the other thing I want to mention is just like everything else we do on Plumes, we are not making money from these. Every cent that we would have made on them that he offered to, the normal sort of setup, we just said take it off the price to make it as cheap as possible for you guys. Peter, I'm sorry we can't make a piss break, but we'll talk a little slower.
A piss break? Yo,
we'll talk about.
I'll take another nose hit while he takes a piss. Go piss.
There you go.
He can take it.
Slow motion. Hey, can somebody get Chariots of Fire? Do 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 do. I can't sing and vape at the same time. Here you go.
Shirts go, guys.
And by the way, for
have V-neck
Rion,
specifically for Ahmed and Rion.
Yes.
For ladyboys, yeah, for the ladyboy styles. We have cotton shirts, we have women's shirts, and the good news for everybody else is he will ship to the UK.
Yes.
You're going to have to work out shipping of that with him, but he will ship anywhere that is legal for him to ship. So anybody anywhere around the world can get these shirts if they want them. Right. I'm going to throw in my little, if you're coming to Vape Mania, get yourself a shirt.
Yeah.
Because, fuck yeah, I want to see a bunch of Plume shirts at Vape Mania. That'd be cool as shit.
Indeed. The other thing I wanted to mention is, so these things are not silked, by the way. The process that he puts these things in, basically, it's kind of like a very specific bleaching. So it kind of goes all the way down to the fibers of the shirt. This will not crack. It will not wear. They look really, really good. And
you know what the best thing about that is? Is if you're not in a warm climate, the fucking shirt's not gonna stick to you. That's the biggest issue.
Yeah,
and you have that vinyl, and it's fucking thick, and it looks like somebody just took paste and went on the shirt.
Well, I had that issue with like cheap band T-shirts I used to wear.
Yes.
It was like really, really shitty quality screen printing, and it would just it would leach out. It would be like on the other side of the shirt, and then it's like, oh, here, look at my boobs.
Yes. These are not like that. These are like definitely permanently in there. They're not going to wear. They look really, really cool. It makes
them look a little bit worn, but they look really freaking cool, and they're really high quality shirts.
Almost dye sublimation sort of quality. It's really, really
I don't
cool.
think he's PayPal only, is he? I thought he had credit card checkout too. I'm not sure though.
We can figure that out, I'm sure. So he did send me one extra, and I wanted to give this away on the show tonight. So I thought it was going to fit me. I didn't notice that it was a large when he sent it, so it's a little tight. So I've already truncated it Angstful Vapor style with no sleeves. So if anybody's a large, send me a message in chat. You have to be of large size in the T-shirt, and if you don't know how to do that, I'm going to paste in how to do that into the chat right now. That is how you do it.
Okay, so I think he does.
I just sent myself a message.
Hey, just real quick to whoever Slapjacks. He does accept credit cards.
Yeah, he figured it out. He's good.
Okay.
So you guys, if you're large size, send me an email or send me a message here. I will package this up. I will send it to you free. Because I want to see somebody wearing it preferably at Mania. That would be really cool.
Are we doing a random drawing for that one?
Random drawing for people in large. Hey, if it's not at Mania, post a picture on the Facebook group, wherever.
There you go.
I'm happy with that. I dig the shirt, and I'm glad that other people dig the shirt. It's cool. So, thank you guys.
Definitely. Copy. All right, so people are not sending me messages. Send me messages. Makes it a lot easier on me.
So what else we got? Is that it for you?
I think that's it for me.
All right. I kind of went through a lot of my stuff already, but I have some awesome news. My Mini is back.
Hooray!
Number 0. Yeah. With a Veritube 510 connector, and I have to say that the Veritube connector is fucking sweet.
Yes, it is.
Like, Let me take the Addy off here because I gotta show this thing, man. Like this thing, it's so low profile and so very, very nice.
It's redonkulous.
Oh, I'm so very, very happy. Mast, you did a phenomenal job. Thank you for fixing up my Mini. Thank you for lid number 0 on the Mast Mod Mini. I
had some people, and there might be some in chat too. I had some people ask about older Zoros or older Mass Mod Minis that had the old style 510s. I was working on Sean's, and I ended up having to do a whole box because of cutting out the hard as fuck epoxy that I use. So as soon as I can figure out if that's going to be feasible and how long it's going to take me to remove the epoxy, I'll set something up with people if they want to send theirs in, and cost and all that to retrofit it to the adjustable 510. So I know some people had asked about that. So
Okay. To interrupt, but they have
if you can't PM him, or if you can't PM Brian, he'll just have to pay attention to chat for a few minutes, I suppose.
Just mention my name specifically. That'll work too.
Falcon, the fat, well, it's not a Fat Daddy one. It's a Veritube 510. So it's way thinner.
Yeah, the Veritubes are so nice, man. They're about half as thick as the Fat Daddies, and they're just.
I'll put a link in chat for you so you can check it out.
They're cheaper too, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
So next on the docket is there was a little bit of drama with a company called Celtic Mods, and this is a long explanation, so bear with me. If you already know the end of the story, don't ruin it. So this guy jumps on, this Vosnick's guy, claiming to be the owner of Celtic Mod, him, his brother, and his friend, and calling a whole bunch of people poor and plebs and stuff for not using the highest end of mods or whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Absolute douchebag, pretty much. So I come to find out, before talking about this, that this is not Celtic Mods. And I have this screenshot here from the guy, Chuck at Celtic Mods, is saying that this dude is in Instagram and forums claiming to be Celtic Mods to give him a bad opinion. So, I mean, I think that's kind of a lesson of be careful, because it's probably not that difficult to be for somebody to fake that they work for a company.
Yeah, and that I wonder how. So you haven't actually gone and seen if this guy really didn't have any ties to the company, right? Because I know they got lit up by Twisted, because the guy started talking shit, and Twisted got a hold of it and he posted it just at 420, and a lot of people. I mean, I started seeing it in a bunch of other Facebook groups about this. So I'm wondering if someone was like, oh shit, how do we get out of this? And now they're just claiming this guy doesn't even own it or anything like that. So
it's possible.
Yeah, and I mean, because that's bullshit. If you really wanted to hurt a company, you can just go on Instagram and start talking shit about them.
Yeah, well, this guy's Instagram is private, and I wasn't about to add him.
Yeah.
From Plumes of Hazard right before I crucified him.
Yeah. So
I didn't get a chance to look at his, but I did do the hashtag Celtic Mods, and I mean, there's a lot of people sharing this fake aspect of it. So just so you guys know, it was premature crucifixions. That happens sometimes. I take pills for it.
Not enough, apparently.
No, well, hey, I caught this one prior, thanks to Mast, really, but still.
At the last second.
Yeah, in the final hour. And the other item that I have is NFIB. I don't know if any of you guys saw this, but this is really cool. NFIB submits its comment to the FDA. They're a small business lobbying group, and they've submitted comments to the FDA saying that regulation of e-cigs will crush small business. That's good news for us. That's very good news for us.
Yeah, they have a bunch of businesses, don't they? They have like 500,000 businesses that are part of it.
They're like 300, a group with, greater than 325,000 member businesses, and 25 of their members are in Congress. So their comments to the FDA are very, very good news to us.
Yeah.
I'm going to share across this piece. Oh, that's a different thing. Is that a different
thing? And it's kind of sad, too, because, you'd figure that they would know. You put this shit through, it's going to hurt everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Jobs
Oh,
will
yeah.
be lost. Businesses will, will be, these are businesses that are paying taxes, that are employing people. So
But
it's a
they know
no-brainer.
that already, right? The FDA's already they've disclosed that they know this is going to push a lot of people out of the
Mhm.
market.
Yeah.
So there's some big players fighting though, which is a good thing. It's a very
Yep.
good thing for us. And then another really interesting article that I read today. If anybody's familiar with Greg Connolly, we're set to have him on the show eventually.
Yeah.
I think we're waiting for like that perfect time to have Greg on. Greg is very active in the political scene. He wrote this really good article about how independent e-cig companies are the antidote to big tobacco, and it's a really good article. And I suggest that you guys read it. Check it out. Greg is a really cool guy. I've talked to him at a few conventions. Very nice guy. So it's definitely worth a look, and I wanted to share that with you guys. Mast, on to you.
Very cool. All right. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about, we'll get some of the parts and pieces that I wanted to share. I saw that yesterday or just a few days ago, I saw that the there was a clone that just came out of an Addy called the Orchid. I'll pull up here a few images of the Orchid, and
While
this
he's pulling it
guy.
up, I just have to say, man. Oh, and no picture in picture. I looked all over the
Okay.
place for something that I could do picture in picture with, and I can't find shit for Mac for this. So kudos to you.
Yeah,
Boot
that's okay.
camp.
So there's the Orchid. There's a picture of it, and we'll show you a picture of the inside now too. Basically, this is a a dual coil. I mean, what do you think we can call it? A dual coil deck. Yeah, and I mean we can see. We'll zoom in here. So you can see the atomizer part.
I'm not familiar with the Orchid, so that looks kind of K-funny.
It
Yeah.
kind of funny, but if you got to look at the center post, the deck. The
Yeah.
deck is interesting.
And it's got four juice wells. It's got a huge chimney. And it's kind of funny because they have warnings about making sure you use just enough cotton and so it doesn't flood and all this other stuff. But it holds, I think, up to 4 mil, which is pretty sizable for how big the chimney is.
Yeah.
And I've heard nothing but good things from it. So
I mean, that looks like a cross between an Aqua and a K-Fun.
Looks like it's got
Right.
4 air channels.
for what?
4 air channels. I think there are 2 air holes, but there are 4 channels. If you look, diagonal from the deck.
I think that I might have a better picture of it. Let me see if I can pull it up. But anyways, it's running for it's on pre-order right now. It's going for around $18 to $19. They're
We should
stated right
classify
now.
that that's the clone. There is a legit version of this. It's
Correct.
Like
This is the clone. There is a legit version. The link that I just posted was for the clone. The next link that I'm going to post is for an actual auction that's going on right now for a legit one. And let me grab this image here. I have a better picture of the deck area. We'll pull that up right now. And basically, it's pretty sizable. There's the deck area. We'll zoom in on that.
Yeah, dude.
So you can see, you can see those wells really well. So not bad at all on the size, and it's got a smoked tank on it also. I don't know about juice crackers, but
somebody commented that it's very similar to a Fogger V4 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there you go.
I have
So-
very little experience with the Foggers, so
Yeah, and if anyone has an authentic, let us know how you like it, what you think about it. So, there you go. So, next thing that I wanted to talk about was something that affected some of the modders that we know and businesses, and it's you're a modder, you're creating these mods and you're selling them, and you're trying to provide it to as many people as possible, so you have different payment processors, so you can accept credit cards, all that stuff. Well, recently we've been hearing that, and this is a common practice, and this is also a warning to any modders out there that are listening or watching, or shops, or anyone who is creating a product and mailing it out. There's been a rash of chargebacks. What a chargeback is, for those that don't know, is you basically call your credit card company and say, "Hey, I ordered this device. It never got to me. I want my money back." And nowadays, most credit card companies are going to say, "Oh yeah, no problem. Here's your money back." Okay, and they're going to hit the credit card processor for the fees, and the credit card processor is not going to sit there and take that, so he's going to go and hit the mod maker or the shop or whoever it is. I was told that the only way to prevent this is to have signature confirmation when you're mailing a package, whether it's a mod or a fix or anything like that, and that's kind of scary, because I would never think to use signature confirmation, because usually you send priority mail, and it's going to get delivered. Well, that's not good enough. According to the credit card companies and the credit card processors, you need an actual physical signature confirmation. If not, the chargeback is happening. So what started happening is people are ordering mods, one or two, shipping them to whether it's a house or an office location, or a neighborhood where there's mailboxes out, in a central area, not actually in front of your house. And unless you can get verification, it's, as far as I know, it's pretty much impossible to get your money back as the modder. So now you're not only out a mod, now you're out the money that it costs you to make that. So if it's $150, if it's a $200 mod, okay, now you're out $400. And I think that that's something we should be on the lookout for, because that's some shady bullshit that people are doing. I know a lot of mod groups and modders out there that really, ain't made out of money. So you take a hit, you take a $500, $600 hit on a few mods that you sent out, that can wipe you out. So
yeah, totally. But the only thing that's kind of crappy about it is, on the receiving side of it, is you got to be here, right? And some of us that work out of their house, that's not so much of a big deal, assuming the people actually knock. But so it's kind of crappy there too. But at the same time, I mean, how shitty of a person do you have to be to?
Correct.
To do that?
That's one of those, a few douchebags ruin it for everybody else.
Yeah, and I think that you can get away with doing one or two of those things. I'm sure the credit card company starts picking up on this guy's full of shit, and I don't know legally what can be done on either way, because honestly, I think they should be going after the delivery person. I mean, I understand that's an option to get the signature required, but if you have proof that you delivered it to an address, when you put something in a mailbox that classifies as being delivered to the address, that should be plenty for the credit card company, but it's not. And apparently people have been doing it with Amazon forever, where they order something one-off, and it's $400 or something like that, and you say it never showed, and anything like that. Now, on the other side, I agree. It is nice to have that layer of protection from your credit card company. If I've had stuff that I've ordered, and thankfully hasn't been anything over $50, and the post office has lost it. Well, unless you put insurance on it, or you put extra insurance when you send priority, there's really not much they can do. If they sent it first class, sorry. If they sent it priority, you're covered up to $50, or if you send it with a different carrier, every carrier is different. But that's kind of scary, because I get in mods all the time from people that need fixed, and I know I'm not using a credit card and all that other stuff, but What's it to say that I send something back and a person says, I never
got
received it?
Yeah.
Right? Now, I feel obligated to cover that cost of that mod that wasn't even mine to begin with, and now I'm out the money for the parts and for the labor and everything. So,
I know
fair
you can do
warning.
this. You can tell me if I'm wrong, but I know I think it's on UPS and FedEx. I think you can authorize electronically that you want it to just be delivered, and I assume that has to count, right? Because that's an
I'm sure it
electric
does.
signature.
Yeah, I
If
think
you
so.
authorize it, it has to.
Yeah, I think so. So but I know a lot of people ship with USPS.
Yeah.
And yes, it is a pain in the dick when you're not home, but at least you get some kind of message where you get a slip or something like that that'll tell you, hey, this is being held at the post office. We'll try to deliver again.
Right.
If you sign the back of the paper and leave it in your mailbox, we'll deliver it the next day.
Yeah.
Okay, so at least you have that option, and you're only out a day, so it's not like you have to drive to the post office. Post office closes at 5 o'clock. You got to get off work before then, so it's a mess. So, just a warning for any modders out there that are dealing directly with the public and are using a credit card payment processor. And there isn't many that cover, the mods and e-liquids and stuff like that. But that's, now that I know that, I will spend the extra $4, $3, whatever it is, if I send something USPS to have a signature confirmation.
I think it's only like $1.
Yeah, maybe it's $1. I know it's not a lot, but it's just one of those things you don't even think about.
Yeah.
Just like you say, okay, well, yeah, it's got $50 insurance. Well, you got to remember that mod might be $150, plus your money, so you need to make sure you insure it, correctly.
Yeah.
So.
And if you live in Texas at all, like I do, our USPS in this area is straight terrible. They've lost several packages of mine that
Right.
most of the time end up turning back up after a couple of months.
Right.
Well,
and
if
it tracks
if it's juice, that's okay because it's already steeped.
Right, exactly. But they lost one of my kids' Christmas presents last year. Like a whole box of Christmas presents from my mom.
Yeah.
That never showed up.
Yeah, I've seen it happen with small packages, stuff like that. But it's just food for thought. People need to keep an eye out on that. If you know someone who's making mods and they're hard at work and they're selling this stuff and they're not going through a retailer or anything like that, and they're selling it outright and they have a website and a credit card processor or anything, even eBay or PayPal, I would still use the signature confirmation because they're still a processor. They can still come after. They can.
It might not be worth it. It's not worth the risk, right?
Correct. So, so that's that.
You have a giveaway today as well, don't you?
I do. And I wanted to answer just something real quick before I forget. I don't know if it was answered in chat. Someone, Dogflace or somebody asked about the 510 on the Hannah. We have a user, our plush, that did do a Fat Daddy 510 on a Hannah. And the problem is the depth. He wasn't able to put the nut on the bottom, so he had to epoxy it in, if I'm correct. I think he's in chat. So it can be done. So you have just a few options. You can either drill the hole bigger, which is tight, or you can epoxy it in. So there you go. And we do have a giveaway today. We're going to be. I got a few questions from some people during the week, and when we talked in the hangout. And one of the users, our plush, also did this. A lot of people have issues with the 510 in their or on their ohm reader. So you'll have this is an ohm reader. This is a Gelly brand ohm reader here, and you have your readout. You have I think this takes a 14500 here in the back, not a AA, 14500, or you can also have it USB powered. So a lot of people have issues with the 510 in these, and I will say after taking it apart, I can see why. So tonight we're going to be putting an adjustable Veritube 510. This is all courtesy of Veritube. Thank you very much. And we're going to be giving it away. So we're going to swap the 510 out on this and do a flush mount adjustable 510, and we're going to be giving it away tonight. So we'll be doing that at the end after tech time.
So speaking of giveaways, why don't you go ahead, Angsty, and announce your shirt giveaway winner?
Sure. So I did get a couple additional entries from Reddit PMs, and I'm going to randomize this now. Should I share the screen? Nah, whatever.
We're fine. We're trustful. We're trustful.
All right. So the winner is Mark Esco 619. Hooray! You get the Angsel Vapor Edition sleeveless Voop
Was that a
Lyfe
chat
shirt.
user or a Reddit user?
That was a chat user, I think.
Awesome. Well, if you're in chat, call out.
Yeah. So, Mark, send me an email, tav@thehomepage.com, and give me your junk. Or you can send me a PM here on the
Did
IRC.
you just ask for his junk?
Yeah, no, not. Oh my God, not. I did say that. That is not what I mean. Oh my God.
So we have
Don't send him your junk.
By the way, if you send me your junk, I'm picking another winner.
You kind of invited it.
We have a lot of new people in here, and I'm sure for a lot of the new people who aren't used to the way that we do things over here, aka copying the Nerdist.
Hey. Imitations of fierce and
I'm sure, by the way, the thing is, man, is I'm sure at 53 minutes in, they're saying, "Why the fuck are these guys still talking? Where's our guest?" On that note, every 5 episodes we do something called a Hostful episode, which is just the 4 of us, where we get to chat, we get to keep it loose, we get to have a conversation. We don't have to, there's no interview process or anything. We come up with a few things to talk about, which we're going to get into in a minute. Plus, we get to expand on the news and just kind of banter back and forth a little bit more than usual. It's less structured. They're very fun for us. We love when people watch them because for a lot of us, they're some of our favorite shows because we just get to relax a little bit. And the other thing that I want to tell you guys, because we got a lot of people in right now. Next week, we have a very cool guest coming on. We have the maker of Ranger mods coming on next week. He builds phenomenal OKRT 10 box mods. Dual 18650. And he wants to give away a special edition Plumes of Hazard Ranger Mods box.
Nice.
Because we have so many people who watch offline, we want to make this giveaway available to everybody. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about it here, but we're not going to post about it anywhere else. So if you're watching, we're going to tell you how to win. If you're not watching, well, you're going to come in next week and have no idea what the fuck's going on. So this is what you need to do. Using Microsoft Paint or an alternative that's similar to Paint only. No Photoshop, nothing fancy like that. We need the best picture you can make that encompasses everything that is Voop Lyfe.
Oh.
You need to explain Voop Lyfe with Microsoft Paint for your chance to win a custom Plumes of Hazard Ranger mods.
If you don't know what that is, go to thehomepage.com and click on Shop and look at the Voop Lyfe t-shirt. You can see what we're talking about.
If you clone our logo, though, you probably will not win. We look for both funny and interesting around here. So if it's good, if it's funny, that's what we look for. We try to make these contests fun. We try to make them interactive. We try to have some fun with them. So, and yes, Colbert Tech Repair is right. This episode has been brought to you by the Toilet Safety Association.
Yeah, that's their logo, the Voop Lyfe.
Angromello, Pixlr.com, Pixlr, I think it is, .com will give you a simple, graphic editing sort of thing.
There's a lot of advanced tools in Pixlr. I ask that you not use them.
Right.
Stick to Microsoft Paint style if you're on a Mac.
Dude, this thing holds like 4 cubic meters of vape. And look, watch, check it.
Vape bong.
Vape it.
So,
I
on the
ain't
note of
hitting
the
it.
Hostful,
And you-
we do have some kind of cool stuff to talk about, though. One of the
Not
things
even
we
hitting
want to talk about tonight is called what we would like to dub the Hardware Hall of Fame.
We're going to have to speed through this. We've been talking for 56 minutes.
We've been
Drip
talking for a
tips.
long time.
The Hardware
Yeah,
Hall of
whatever, man.
Fame.
It's Hostful, we can go over. Who gives a shit?
You got me
Right.
muted?
No, I can hear you. I'm just ignoring you. So the
I
Hardware
promise,
Hall of
tech time
Fame-
will be quick.
We are going to talk about the best gear from beginners to advanced users, from mechs, intermediate devices, higher-end regulated devices. whatever the case may be. We didn't talk about this beforehand. I don't know where the fuck this conversation is going to go, but let's start at beginner.
Let's go.
Best beginner devices. Go.
Well done. That's a good intro.
I'm gonna get fired at the end of this episode.
Okay.
You're
So
fired.
you can submit to theplumesofhazard@gmail.com, theplumesofhazard@gmail.com, or on our Facebook or on our subreddit.
So many places to post.
3 places. That's it. I will accept 3 places for this one. That's
Free.
it. One of those 3 places. We have a Plumes of Hazard Facebook group. We have the subreddit, or you can send in an email if you hate social media. We will share all these live on the show, just so you guys know.
I will.
You just muted yourself. Thanks, Steve.
I'll link. the
You tried to
Plumes
mute
of
me.
Hazard
You muted yourself.
Yep. All right.
I was typing.
So
As our
I'm going
Plumes
to be
of Hazard
honest,
sub.
man. I think my opinion on brand new user gear has changed. I think the best thing that I have used lately has been the Kanger Aero Tank Mega.
Yeah, the mini Pro Tank 2 I think is still solid. If
You're not sucking the Nautilus's butt.
I bought a Mega and I've been using it, and I can run it at higher wattages than the Nautilus. I do like the Nautilus a lot, but I like the Aero Tank more.
Mini Pro Tank 2 if you're on a budget, I think is still solid. Project 2501 knows this.
Yeah,
I still think the EVOD kit is a very solid starting place. The Kanger EVOD.
I say those mini Pro Tanks are better at flow than any of the other ones.
Less negative pressure that can build up inside of them as opposed to the regular Pro Tanks. I have the original Pro Tank, and I had that leaking issue with them eventually.
Yeah. I've always loved the Pro Tank minis, man. They're great.
Sorry, I should reface that. The EVOD 2, not the EVOD. Apparently the EVOD's no longer made. So the Kanger EVOD 2s, the Pro Tank Mega Mini whatever, or the Pro Tank Mega are my choices. And I still don't think you can necessarily go wrong with a twist, but I think my
Twist.
I think my battery choice falls down to iTaste. I like the iTaste BV a lot.
I was gonna say that's my as far as battery is concerned. I like the twists and stuff; those are fine. But for just a little bit more money, just a couple of bucks, you can get a lot more functionality out of that VVV3.
Yep. I like the VV a lot. I think that wins for me.
My issue with the VV, at least I've had a lot, and I thought initially that it was dumb customers are doing this, but it's very easy. I think it's because of the shape of, maybe it's the 510 that meets the square body, but I found a lot of Cleros that get stuck on them. You don't have to turn them down that tight. There's no medium turn down range, and I've had to get so many Cleros that were stuck, screwed down.
Oh, also apparently we are already outdated. The Nautilus Mini is better.
So we're talking about iPods now.
All right, Hardware Hall of Fame.
Turn down for what?
I got a thread started on the sub and the and our Facebook group for that.
So, do we have anything else for new user gear?
For the smaller percentage of users that doesn't give a fuck about form factor, the MVP.
I agree with the MVP a lot because the MVP
It's somewhere between beginner and intermediate.
it is,
Yeah.
and it's really really good. I think, and I was going to kind of say for the intermediate level, it was going to be the MVP on the budget end and the Provari on the high end. Because you can't go wrong with either one of those two, I don't think. The MVP is a phenomenal device. And honestly, I think I'm going to have to say the probably the new DNA iTaste, the SVU is going to fit there too.
But I think also the I think one of the good things to go by too is, okay, the percentage, the majority of the people are not going to stay at that level for long.
Agreed.
So I suggest don't spend too much money on your beginning stuff, because you're going to move up. So save up for some of that.
Know yourself, and I think we went over that way back.
Oh yeah.
Know yourself thing and know where you're going to move to. Because for a lot of people, they'll buy an MVP and they'll be happy with that forever. If Foob here wouldn't have met us, he probably would have been happy with an MVP and a Cardo tank forever.
I probably would have started dripping anyway, and I did start. It wasn't you guys that got me to start dripping, okay?
So
My first setup was actually a Secret Santa gift.
another really good intermediate device somebody mentioned in chat is the IPV. It's not overwhelmingly expensive.
Mm.
It's a high watt
Put
device.
that in the intermediate side, right?
I would put that. I would put the IPV in the intermediate section. Yeah, I think we're kind of gradually moving into that, though. I think we're working our way into that. I think the IPV definitely falls into the intermediate range. It's a very good device.
Yeah, you know, that's a good thing. Spend enough to quit analogs. There you go. That's a good way of putting it.
But here's the thing, folks. Like, honestly, there's so many great options out there. Like, this is such a good time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really good options, and there's a lot of really good stuff. So you're going to probably hear us list a lot of stuff. So if you're looking to move up, you know, there's options there for you.
The best budget clearomizer, I'd say, popped in my head, is the SmokeTech RBC. It's shaped like a CE4, but it's bottom coil. It takes ProTank 1 coils. The only flaw with it, I'd say, because I mean, it can flood, it can leak like other clearomizers do. That's just the nature of them. But it's a hard plastic that, you know, is press fit in the metal base. That getting separated is the only thing that can happen. It's a matter of how aggressive you are with it. If it sits at home or it doesn't get beat up like, you know, some of your other gear, then it is really good. For under $10, it is a very good clearomizer.
Sure.
And pro tip, if you drill out one of the air holes with just one air hole with a 16th, it'll pull real nice.
That and also keep an eye out for coupons. You know, look for coupons in the places that you're going to buy them. I mean, I always say support your local B&Ms, you know, if they're not douchebags. But
support your local B&Ms as long as you're not getting ripped off.
Right, exactly. And, you know, take some time. Take a few hours a day, you know, bookmark some pages, web pages, and just, you know, look for coupons and see where you can find it at a decent price.
Like, I mean, I'd say half of the people in chat or watching are from Reddit. They know that, you know, we've all bought stuff from Vaping Me, for instance, and they have a permanent 12% off coupon for, you know, the coupon code is Reddit. Like, that kind of stuff is always good, because that's the first thing I saw, because when I first started ordering stuff online, I saw, when I first discovered Reddit, like, a lot of vendors love to do coupon codes. Some of them are fixed, some of them, you know, or they do them, you know, week in, week out. It's good stuff to have bookmarked and just save some money. That's
and Vaping Me's got free shipping over $30 too, so you're
lowest free shipping threshold that I can think of.
Yeah.
So are we considering rebuildables in the intermediate range?
I would say so. I mean, I was rebuilding my ProTank heads way back.
I still think the best tank to date, as far as all-day use, is a K-Fun. For the price, for usability, it doesn't leak. I still don't think you can go wrong with a K-Fun.
I agreed.
It still leaks for people. Not everybody, you know, is on the high horse.
That's all in the build, though. For the most part, it doesn't leak. Like, once you get the build down, it doesn't leak.
Once you get the build and the filling down.
True.
You gotta keep the pressure in there right, but it's really not.
But on the lights, they're bottom filled, so you don't really have that problem.
Yeah, that's true.
People still have that problem.
Oh, my bad.
I meet people all the time. They're like, "I bottom fill and it leaks all over the place." I'm like, "Oh, give your coils off the air hole. Put enough cotton, but not too much in there."
But you know, good piece to. I think the K-Fun is a very, very good way to go. I still think the RSST holds a special place in my heart if you're looking at Jennies. I still think it's one of the better cheap Jennies, and I mean, it's like what?
Hey, I'm gonna start setting up as you guys are talking, okay?
Sure.
Okay.
I would say the IPV or the RSST is probably like $20 right now. It's easy to build. It works great. It functions. It's nice. What do we got for drippers? Probably still the IGOs, right? IGO W, Halo Cap.
For low end stuff, IGO W.
I still use my IGO W. I mean, you know.
Yeah, the IGO Ws were a nice dripper.
Mm-hmm.
I still use mine. Has a Halo Cap on it now that's been shufflified, but
honestly, now that I've gotten a chance to try it out, this little Sigelli dude, what was the name of it? My mask?
The Sigelli Tai Chi.
Tai G.
That's right. Yeah, Tai G. This thing's it's not bad. It's not my favorite thing that I've used, but it's not too bad. I would
for
probably
$25.
Super easy. One of the easiest drippers to build on. And the airflow is actually nice. You just need I don't like the drip tip that comes with it that much, so I just tailpipe it kind of just with no drip tip.
That's fair.
stepping up a little bit. The Taube is still my favorite, nicer one that I've got.
I think the Taube is the best for convenience. I don't think it's the best out there for flavor. I think the Magma, the Quasar, and a few others do a little bit better on flavor, but I do think the Taube is the best one I've used for convenience. That three-piece design, the integration with the chuff cap. Yeah. It's a great cloud addy. It's great for, sub-ohm builds, holding a bunch of juice.
It's good for flavor and clouds. It's one of those.
Agreed.
Well-wrapped.
Not the best flavor, but it's got really good flavor for what it is, and it's a very nice device.
Yep. Looks cool too.
Agreed. What about mech? I don't even know what's new in mechs anymore, man.
As far as new, I'm still stuck on my, and I've mentioned this before. I'm still stuck on this guy. I freaking love this little Pisces T. This is my favorite mech that I've ever had. I've had a few, and this is by far my favorite one, just because of form factor. And 490, God, this thing is so small, and the button works really well. The only problem I've got with it is a common to all mechs where the contacts get corroded after. Why don't I just throw it on the floor? The upside is it's a mech, so it doesn't matter.
Throw it in the trash.
The solid copper contacts get corroded, right? I mean, what are you going to do? That's what happens with oxidation, right?
Use a little bit of vinegar, clean it off if you don't have metal polish.
Out of everything that I have played with in the mech world, and I've played with a lot, I still think the PAPS X takes the cake for me.
Oh, absolutely. For top-end stuff?
It's not inexpensive, but in the market that it's playing, it's inexpensive.
I don't think you can say the PAPS X is inexpensive by any means.
No, but it's not expensive in the market that it's playing in.
It's not expensive compared to like a skeleton key or one of those other super expensive.
And that's the market that it's playing.
Well, that's the thing, though. The PAPS is so cleanly designed, and it performs, which is what a lot of...
Well, the GP PAPS is its own thing, and that's really nice. But the PAPS X takes the fucking cake, man. The PAPS X is fucking...
As far as the Switch goes, the Switch is brilliant.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, the other thing I will say is some people don't really like the Switch, but that Nanos by Vapers, you guys make the cool.
That's really affordable.
Yeah, man.
Very affordable.
Really nice locking switch. That thing's cool. That thing's really, really nice.
I hate to toot my own horn, but I love my setup now. My Nemesis clone that I got a black anodized tube for, Infinite Stellaire clone with a chuff top. This is the most lightweight, and this is with the battery. It's very, very light. Because before that, I had the stainless stock Nemesis tube with the Stellaire with the stock AFC cap on it. It was very heavy, and this thing cut the weight, I don't know, maybe by a third. It was very lightweight. I'm the one person who hasn't put magnets in my Nemesis switch. I still have the spring that came with it, and I have not yet gotten a hot button, and I'm running this at 0.13. No problems with it, and I put copper contacts in here as well. So this is like as switched out as it can get, and it hits like a motherfucker.
And I heard those hit pretty hard.
And then I think we have the higher end and the regulated stuff. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna take a second as we talk about the higher end world, and I'm gonna talk about the Doodlebug and the SAT-22 for a second.
Look at all my DNA mods that sit before me. Which one is higher?
And I'm talking about the Doodlebug and the SAT-22. I still think those two Jennies are two of the best Jennies that have ever been designed. They're expensive as fuck, but they're gorgeous and they vape great. But they vape different. They're, small air hole, 1 millimeter air hole. You don't push these things high. They're not cloud machines, but the flavor is fucking unparalleled. They're phenomenal in that sense.
I will put the Rose up there.
The Rose is up there.
Matt already yelled at me for saying it, so I'm going to say it again.
Every rose has its angsty.
Now, I do keep hearing about the Squape R, and if anybody wants to send me one, I will look at it.
Yeah, I don't have the scratch to drop on a brand new Silica Addy or Cotton Addy right now.
No. At some point, I probably will. If I can pick one up, pre-owned or something, I might do it.
My problem with the Squape R is that it's so ugly.
It's ugly and it's big.
Yeah, like the Rose, I kind of knew the Stumpy kit as I was breaking it in, so I was happy. But the Squape is huge and it's ugly.
It's big. There's no doubt about
it. But everybody's saying Squape R, so I feel like eventually I'm gonna have to try a Squape R.
Squape Getty.
Shut up, Aaron.
We know we need something for the Rose.
Bastard. Calls us out for an ice challenge and then rubs a Stumpy in our face.
That sounds like code.
This is why you don't have a micro.
Yeah. Bastard.
So as far as the other like non-Addy stuff, I don't have an SX350 yet. Mass has been using one for a while. I think they're really cool. It's a good idea. I really like my DNAs that last a little while. We need to talk about the OKRs, but I don't want to take up too much time because we need to get to TechTime at some point. But
man, like, and
you know,
that's the thing. In the high end,
gotta rock OKRs, right?
You have Raptor, 120 watts, OKR, 50 watts, DNA 30 watts, SX boards. I don't know what the fuck they go up to now. It changes every day.
It depends on how they feel.
So SX boards. It depends on whether or not they have a hard on in the morning.
Yep.
Right.
So,
but they're great.
They're great. But there's a lot of options, right? There's a lot of, it doesn't matter what DNA mod, they're all the same. It doesn't really matter what OKR mod, as long as it has capacitors, they all pretty much function the same. And with the Raptors, it doesn't really matter. Like, they're gonna it's all about that chip, and the rest is all kind of up to what form factor do you like, what battery size do you want, and that's what it all comes down to with the other stuff. But the chips are what's important with this, and I will say I think the peak end of the higher end regulated mods are going to be these fucking Griffins, man. I'm so excited.
Oh, I can't absolutely. Now we were saying that they're all the same. It depends on where what enclosure you want in it. But the Griffin with that Arduino
board is different.
Different.
And that's nice. The variable watt functionality. Dustin did an awesome little demo thing while he was trying to figure out the buttons, and man, that Griffin looks fucking awesome.
Yeah. And if you don't know about Brown Dustin, you can check out one of our previous shows he was on. You can check his stuff out.
I think last show we shared pictures of the Griffin. Awesome looking device. That kind of covers the Hardware Hall of Fame.
I think so.
The DNA may be 1% more efficient than the SX. I don't know. I haven't seen a test. Mass, do you have input?
Nope.
I'm sure it will be tested soonish.
I'm sure Bassardo's going to do that, huh?
And I look forward to when that gets tested, because if it's 1%, I don't care. It's 1% less efficient for 30 more watts.
You are the 1% up there.
I am. Proudly and happily, man. What do you want from me? So, last note, before we cut to tech time, is builds, because this is fast, because my builds suck. I do the same build every time. 8 rep, 28 gauge, about 1.3 ohms. On a dripper, I do 2 of them. That's my build. That's what I like. I build my headphones that way, the rows, and my drippers.
Sounds like I'm bored. Deal with it. Ugh.
I'm 10 rep, 26 gauge to 1 ohm.
Yeah, that's what I use. I use 10 reps 26 on my OKR dripper, basically on my Odin or my iGo, which sits on my Master Mod Mini at 0.5. Nice large heating surface, get really nice flavor on that. On the Stellaire, I got a dual parallel 26 gauge, 8 wraps. So with 2 pieces of Cantler wrap it 4 times. That's a 0.13.
Our little Foobaca's come so far. From Cardo's 30 episodes ago to
actually, I was rebuilding 30. I was already in Dripper 30 episodes ago.
But our first show, you were like just starting to rebuild though, and now you're on.
You've just become grumpy and resentful, and
I'm so moved, man. I'm so moved.
But yeah, parallel builds, good flavor with the chuff top. That's what you need, I think, to get nice flavor with the chuff top.
Mass, you got any builds?
I build all the time. Let's talk about Willis.
He's trying to figure. I think right now he's trying to figure out a build that'll work at 300 watts.
Somebody's got the Star Wars intro. Builds. I have builds in different addies. I have a I think it's like a 4 or 5 wrap twisted 26 gauge bullshit on the Tobe, and I have dual micros in my Helios, and I don't know. I've lately been building to test So I will say my go-to build lately. It sounded like some barking frogs. What the hell was that? My go-to build, I'll pop it open here, is on the Magma, and there it is right there. And this is a I don't fucking know, Ahmed. What did we wrap here? Let's see. It's a .6 ohm. Let's see if I can count how many wraps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Today, massed counts wrap.
I don't know, like 10 fucking. I don't fucking know. I don't pay that much attention to the builds. I just build it. Does it vape good? Fucking vape it. You know,
Yeah.
none of this. I got 516ths of an eighth of a wrap.
I do
And
two builds,
you know, it
motherfucker.
comes out to 0.05716 eighths.
Micro
30
dragon
seconds.
coiled
Yeah,
spike.
I do contact coils.
and-
I
Why,
use contact
you know,
coils and
why
power
not?
wire.
People get caught up on the fucking numbers. Build it, vape it. Does it vape good? Good. Does it burn your fucking lips? Bad. Done.
Mm.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
keep it simple. I mean, honestly, I think that drives a lot of new people away from rebuilding.
I
Oh,
agree.
well, do I use a 20 gauge needle? Do I use a screwdriver? Do I use an Allen wrench? Well, I saw this guy that did this, that. Fuck, man.
You know
Just
what doesn't
fucking
drive a
build it.
lot of people away from building, though? Fucking microcoils. Best
Okay.
idea ever.
Yeah.
I
Simple
wrap
as shit, and they fucking work.
I wrap everything around a 2mm bit. By the way, 5/64 bit. That's every. You know, maybe a little bigger, do it 3/30 seconds, but it's with 20. When I only build with 26, and it's super easy. As Angsty taught me when I first got it, each wrap around 26 gauge is 0.1
Right.
ohm.
And
That's
then
one ohm.
obviously, you know, take that with a grain of salt, what I said about wrap to taste, because if you're in a K-Fun, you're going to be wrapping something different than if you were on a full-blown dripper versus, you know, all that. But you're still going to, I think you still should wrap to your, you know, your taste. So
Dude, every time the times that I have messed up a build and it looks ugly and it doesn't really, you know, it's not very aesthetically pleasing, dude, you juice this thing up and vape it, and it works great. I mean, people get really caught up on making sure they have the center post build to the perfect, you know.
And honestly, if that's the hobby side that you want to play, that's cool.
Sure.
That's not me, though, man.
Absolutely.
I want to slap in a build as quick as possible and vape. So I switched to K-Funs. I want something simple. I want to pick it up, vape it, and it fucking works.
all right, we're at 10:20. We got to get rolling. So
All right, and now for tech time.
okay, so what I wanted to cover in this one was changing your 510. Here's what again, this is a Sigelli ohm reader. It's got your battery door here. It's got your USB, your readout, your on-off switch, and this actually has it's an ego threaded, stuff like that. Obviously, if you need the ego threaded, don't take it out, leave it in there. Some of these, you know, they're not meant to you know, be using atomizers, so they're not as heavy duty. So they go bad. The wires are really thin too. So this will help if you sometimes put your build on one of these and you see it jumping around all the time, no matter what, even if your coils are fine and everything's great, you know, that could be an issue. The 510 going bad or the wires or something. So I'll show you what the inside of this guy looks like. You have your board, you have your USB input, you have your switch, you have your battery leads, okay, and you have your 510. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to remove this from the board. As you can see, this one was recessed because it's a ego threaded, okay, and it's recessed into the board, into the case. So what I did was to make sure that let me take this one apart real quick to make sure that the 510 was going to fit flush. Is I went ahead and removed and flattened the area that was there. Okay, so now it's completely flat. All I did was I took a pair of these guys, I cut down into the plastic like this just to speed it up. You guys don't need to really see that, and cut it out as best as I could, and took a file, just, you know, sanded that down, got it as close as possible. Now, here's something that you're going to notice is you put this guy in there. Again, they're going to be different. The ohm readers, the most popular ones that have the 2, you'll be fine on. But I'll show you here in a second, since I know R Plush is really full of himself and he loves himself a lot. He's probably posted the picture of his 510 conversion like 50
Yes.
times in
He
chat.
has.
I just knew it. I'm not even paying attention to chat, and I know he does that shit. So, anyways, we'll show you the difference between the one he posted and this, and why we're doing this. As you can tell, if you put the nut on this, it ain't gonna do anything. So, easy fix. I went out to the garage. I got a washer. Okay, made sure the washer was big enough to fit the 510, the bottom of it. Okay, so what we'll be doing is we'll be installing it like so, putting the washer in. Let's move this wire out of here, and then you can go ahead and put your nut on it, and you're good to go. Okay, and what this is going to allow you to do is it's going to be flush, and it's not going to be sticking out of the sides. So I don't know if you saw the one that our Plush posted, but it sticks out this far. And again, if it's closer to the edge, you can always go with the smaller 510s. Okay, the 14 millimeter ones. Bring it down to the edge. You can still use the bottom. There you go. You don't have to use the big ones because these are nice to be able to throw in your pocket and go if you need them. Okay, if you're at a convention or something like that. So it's nice to not have anything sticking out. So let's get to it. Let's get this guy out of here. I already pre-wired and soldered my positive pin in the 510. So you can see that is already there. Okay. I also soldered the negative to the nut. Now, I just wanted to show on here, here's how I solder mine, okay? Notice I'm on the bottom of the nut. That way, if you need to, use your socket, the socket can actually go over half of the nut, and you can still tighten it. Okay, if you do it this way, obviously not going to work. So if you put it on the lower end, it'll allow you to be able to use that. As you can see, these wires are very thin. So let me bring this guy in a little bit so you guys can see. Anxie, does it help if we bring this to Brighton? No, that's too much.
Yeah, it washes it out a bit.
Okay, all right, fine. Okay, so you have your positive lead, and a lot of these might have 3, they might have 4 wires. Okay, just keep an eye on what's important is what's hooked up to the 510. White is obviously your center pin, so that's going to be your positive. Okay, I mean really here it doesn't matter, but there's your center pin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to cut this guy out. Now notice, this board does not have any screws holding it in. These are just little plastic pegs. Okay? So I'm not saying they're all going to be like this, but this has little plastic pegs holding everything in. If you pop this out, it's going to be a pain in the ass to put back on because this is kind of like a plastic rivet. They put it on, they mash it down with heat, and it basically squeezes the top and holds the board in place. So be careful when you're working on these because you're not going to be able to take this board off and put it back on. All right. So we took this guy out. Remember that's the center port or the positive, and this guy here will be the negative. Okay. And for all intensive purposes, this is the negative battery lead coming into the board. We really don't have to worry about this. Okay, it's reading the ohms in between these two guys. You can change this if you want. If you want to put bigger gauge wire, go right ahead. So just to stay with...
Good question for you, Mass, while you're going. Does the board have any simple firmware on it to compensate for the resistance in the wires?
I believe it does not. You're going to have less of an issue of it fluctuating with the bigger gauge wire than with the smaller. Okay, so I know that is something that I've seen. That with the bigger gauge wire, it's pretty even across the top when you actually put your device on there. So
doing this swap will make it a competition ohm reader.
Yeah, sure. You can paint some racing stripes on it and all that other cool stuff. So we have just enough wire here to allow this. Another thing that I will show is sometimes on the insides you'll have supports like this, and I left this one in there to show you guys how easy it is to use one of these tools to remove it. So before soldering this on there, I'll show you guys. You basically can come in. There's snap one, and you just slowly, carefully, not hurting your fingers, clean that off. Okay, it's completely cleaned off. There is a little bit left here. Always wear your safety goggles and all that other good stuff when you're working with plastic, because it will, it can come up and whap you in the face. So
Same thing when I'm cutting my nail.
there it is, completely cleaned off. That now gives us some space for that 510 to work. So let's go ahead and drop a bead of solder on this guy here and solder that sucker in. So put some flux since we got different metals here.
Somebody said we better copyright the competition ohm reader because it's going to sell like hotcakes.
Yeah. And another thing too, if you guys are interested in just getting the ohm reader by itself and not wanting to do the swap, these guys are only $12 at Veritube right now. So they work great. I know there's a few other ones out there. I think Mad Vapes carries some that are closer to like 20. So.
Dude, I remember back in the day when ohm readers were like the real unicorn.
Yeah.
Physically impossible to get.
So I'm going to put this guy on first, so it doesn't really matter. You can we can unscrew this if you want. So you guys can see. Okay, so we have this. So we'll go ahead and solder this guy in there. I'm going to cut my lead down a little bit closer. I don't need that much. And again, as always, you don't need a lot of heat on this stuff. So just quick touch and go. And we'll do our negative last after we have spun it on there. Okay, we're going to be facing down. And I'm going to pick this guy up out of frame real quick to usually we'll put the nut down and spin the other side. Get the nut going. It's awesome when you get them nuts going. And make sure it's kind of out of the way of anything. I'm going to grab my socket. And this is plastic, so no need to go crazy on the tightening. Okay, make sure you can still reach. That's okay, we can swap it around the other side. And one thing I want to do is, actually that came out pretty good, that's pretty close. I want to show you guys a trick. See if I can find my lid. If you guys have a Hammond box lid or something like that and you're installing these 510s, you can actually use the edges to go in there and line it up.
Straighten that shit up. That looks gorgeous.
And there we go. So we'll give it a little bit more tightening here. It's probably going to move on us. We'll move it back. You can hold it also with one and tighten on the other. So, all right, there we go. Let's solder this guy on. Right there, we're going to shorten our lead again. And drop us a... Oh, I'm going out of frame here. Sorry about that. All right. Does it. All right, let's plug this sucker in. Push the 510 in there. Sorry if I'm going out of camera. I can't really do this under the light there.
So, Mass, while you're putting that back together, and in the interest of time, we had someone comment or send us a message on YouTube. I can't remember the name. I apologize. Asking about our thoughts on a 3-amp switch that looked pretty.
That looked pretty, huh? Well, Auto P9.
There you have it. Auto
There's-
P9.
The answer is always Auto P9.
Always check. We'll rearrange this here, but always check that your center pin is free floating. So it is. It's moving in and out, no problem. Okay. Rearrange your wires to make sure they're not getting cut up anywhere. Okay. And we'll put it back together and then set the top here. Okay.
And while you're doing that, and also in the interest of time, we had another good question by Daniel Malone on YouTube. So I just started using rayon. I don't know if it's me or I'm so used to cotton balls, but at first I got a weird wet dog taste or a chewing on a shirt taste. And after letting it sit for a while, I got the rest of that email cut off, apparently. So
I can't say I've had a bad tasting experience with brown unless it was like a dry hit. But it does take a couple rounds in the dripper to break in. That's all I can.
It got better, but it seems to have muted the flavor and the throat hit, but seems to deliver the nicotine better, and I got lightheaded.
Ahmed, do you want to do a random real quick?
For the ohm meter, I already did.
Yes. Oh, you did? Okay, good.
Yep. Is anybody using it and liking it? What are his other questions here? Anyone else getting a terrible taste? Anyone like cotton better? Laugh out loud.
I will tell you this, though. Not every juice tastes good on rayon.
I agree with that completely.
I'm not saying it mutes the flavor or just it tastes like shit, but some notes of certain juices will come out more than others, and it'll make it not taste as good for me. You know what I mean? It doesn't ruin a juice for me. It just, I guess it shines in a different light that I may not enjoy.
See, I do not. I have had a bad experience with rayon. I do not like it. I will probably try it again, but as of now, not a fan.
It's all I use. I mean, I like the flavor I get off it. It wicks very nicely, especially on a very low build, and I change it out maybe once a week, and maybe even more than that, because more than a week, depending on what I'm vaping. But I can vape semi-dirty juices, I'll call them, for up to a week before I have to change it out.
And then somebody asked regarding this mast, you start the negative nut before you solder. So I'm assuming you screw down the negative nut before you solder, and I believe that would be a yes, correct?
Okay. I have the I'm just showing that this, it works. This is a 0.6. Okay. I solder the wire to the nut first. Put the light on here. I solder the negative wire to the nut first, obviously on the bottom, and yes, I put the nut on first and then solder wherever you're going, because sometimes you might have to spin it, okay, or it might not end up exactly where you need, and that allows you to put it where you want it, have it all set, and then solder to the board or solder wherever you're going to need to go. So, yes, put the nut on with the wire, tighten everything down, and then solder.
So should we announce the winner?
Absolutely. Go ahead, Foo.
Useless midget.
Useless Midget wins the ohm meter.
Oh yeah! Congratulations.
And so we need to pick a new T-shirt or a new shirt.
So apparently the guy that won logged out like immediately right before we announced it. So I've selected another winner, and if this person is in the chat still, which I think they are, and they're in the United States, which I hope they are, then they're going to win the shirt, and that person is Saint Andrew.
All right.
Merry Christmas. So Saint Andrew, you don't have to send a PM if you don't have an account or whatever. Just put your email in chat, and I will email you, and we'll get the stuff sorted.
Oh yeah, tell him to put his email in chat with 100 people that he doesn't know. That'll go.
If he wants a damn T-shirt, he can put it in the chat.
So let's get masked up here because we do have one last minute question. And before I ask this question, I need to preface this with I hope this is the last time I ever have to see this in my fucking life.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Thank everybody for watching.
Thank you everybody for coming out for the Hostful.
Yeah, you know, I think it was.
The last question is who likes ice cream?
I think we all like ice cream.
Meet me at the ice cream truck. I'll buy you with ice cream. I whip out my drumstick that will make your eyes gleam. Lick it up,
Adios, amigos.
and melt on the floor.
Thank you guys for watching.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.